Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Power Suit Lex Luthor with Throne. Now before we get into it, let us first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, good old Lex Luthor does come with a collectible trading card, which looks to feature artwork from the source material. And if you guys have been watching my DC Multiverse reviews as of late, you know I much prefer this to some good old-fashioned toy photography, although that is nice too, but we already get that on the box sometimes, so it's nice to have some reference there. And on the back there is a bio for this particular version of good old Chrome Dome, so you can pause and read it at your own leisure. On top of that, it comes with the traditional DC Multiverse hockey puck stand, which comes with everything McFarlane Toys. And on top of all that, and this is some straight up Toy Biz shit right here, you get this bitchin' Throne, which is awesome. So setting Lex Luthor down for a minute. This is, well, it's not a high quality PVC. There's no weight to this thing. It's hollow on the bottom, kind of hollow on the back. So it's intended to be sitting up against a wall here, like this. But you know what? For 20 bucks, the fact that we even get this is fantastic. I would say my only gripe with this figure is that it doesn't come with fist hands. Other than that, the fact it comes with a throne is really cool, and it actually takes up a lot of real estate in the box, so maybe that's why they didn't give him hands. I don't know. But at any rate, he does sit on it well. It is big enough for him to sit on, and looks nice. It is kind of flat, but again, 20 bucks, I'll take it. Especially considering the fact the last time this guy came out, he was a collect and connect, and you needed to buy, what, 6 figures to finish him? And no, I don't have that complete to show you guys, but I don't really need it now, because I have this one. And this one is good enough for me. And talking about this one a little bit more, I really like this figure, man. I think he's cool. If this is what the Rebirth Lex Luthor is like, I actually don't have that figure yet, I'm all for it. I am all for it. This thing looks cool. It's really solid as far as the sculpt and the articulation and the QC goes. I think he's really, really nice. And if you're looking for some Lex Luthor figures to throw into the multiverse because you're sick of seeing the sea of Batman and Superman and whatnot at this point, like, you know, everyone else is, I guess, then this is an easy purchase for you. He looks really cool. But as far as his articulation goes, his head is on a double ball peg, and you actually get a lot of range out of there considering the shape of the head. Like, he can look up pretty well, he can look down, you get some tilt side to side, and he can look side to side. And he even has that good old dark side-ish jaw piece, helmet piece going on. Because I guess he merged with Darkseid or something? I don't know. I don't know a lot about this version of Lex Luthor. And he's got a Superman emblem on his chest too, so I don't know what's up with that. The Mattel one had a cape. Would have been nice if he had a cape, but I know why they didn't, because it would have to be like the new Spawn that's out with the throne. And they would have really just had to have sculpted the cape onto the throne. That would have limited things, if I'm being perfectly honest. Without the cape being there, you can use this throne for anything, so that's cool. As far as the shoulders go, they do move forward and back. They move out, back down. They do have that ball joint in there, so you can kind of shift them around a little bit. It's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and I'll be honest with you. Ooh, that's a clicky joint, isn't it? Look at this. What the hell? He doesn't have the Cliffs of Dover going on, man. Why isn't this the norm? Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than giant chunks missing out of the arm. the mind boggles, I guess. Then he has ball-jointed wrists, which can move in and out, and up and down in all kinds of ways. He's got grip hands, and it would have been nice if it came with extra fists, but really he should have just had fist hands in the first place, because he doesn't come with any accessories to hold on to. And considering the fact that the hands pop off as easy as they do, especially this side, it would have been nice to get some other hand options, or maybe even some relaxed hands, or something. Because this kind of sucks. You can kind of use them as thrown sitting hands. They do work for the most part, but I would have liked some fist hands. As far as his torso articulation goes, you can kind of crunch forward a little bit. Not as much as Rebirth Batman, but enough, I guess. Crunch back a little bit too. He does rotate, and both the waist and the diaphragm. And he does have some kick side to side. So that works fine. Nothing wrong there. His hips, they do kick forward. They do kick back. His diaper is nice and soft and gets out of the way. So that is easy to do. Kicks out to the side. Let's actually check his hips. Yeah, it feels like they're both in all the way. Sometimes they don't get the joint in there all the way for whatever reason, and it leaves one leg longer than the other, but in this case I think it's just due to the foot articulation being how it is. Then he has a thigh cut. He has double jointed knees, which work pretty well. I wish the top one bent a little more. Bended, really? That's not a word. But it doesn't, so what are you gonna do? Has a ball hinge ankle, of course. There's the rocker and the rotation. And then he has a toe joint and peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the hockey puck stand. But you really don't need it with this guy. He could stand quite alright. And like most Multiverse figures, he's got a toe joint that's kind of floppy, and he's got one that's kind of not floppy. But you can stand him up pretty easily. Pretty easy. It is a little tricky at first. Gotta find the right position for the legs. But once you do, he stands up okay. But considering the fact he has a freaking throne, standing up's not really a priority for this guy. Because he's going to be sitting in a throne, as far as I'm concerned. At least on my shelf, anyways. I don't know about yours, but I think I'm going to just have him displayed in the throne. So, getting him centered there, that's Dark Lex, or Lex Side, whatever you want to call him, in a nutshell, man. So that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Lex Luthor next to a couple other McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures, the Rebirth Batman and DC Comics 1000 Superman. Next up, here he is alongside a couple other McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures, the Endless Winter John Stewart Green Lantern and Black Adam. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, Love and Spawn, who looks to be about neck and neck with good old Lex Luthor here. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and if like me you missed out on the old Mattel Collect and Connect version of this particular iteration of good old Lex Luthor here, or if you simply enjoy having badass DC Universe figures on your shelf, then look no further than the figure that sits before you, because like I always say in these McFarlane Toys reviews, it seems, you're definitely getting what you're paying for here. You're getting a badass figure with a badass throne and some extra bullshit you probably don't care about. But you know what? I don't think that's too shabby at all. For 20 bucks, I think you could do a lot worse, especially considering the fact that Marvel Legends are getting closer and closer to a $30 price point. I say this in almost all of my McFarlane Toys videos, guys. Don't pass these figures up just because of what people are saying online. They are totally 100% worth the money. I haven't really gotten one in a long time that I've been like, this is crap. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. I'm just one of many people here on YouTube reviewing action figures, but at the end of the day, my money means a lot to me because I don't make a ton of it to spend on everything under the sun. So if I buy something, I obviously like it enough to spend the cash on it. And this is something I think that you guys out there should definitely check out. My only major gripe with this figure is the fact that he doesn't have fist hands. Other than that, I only wish I had him sooner because he could have cracked my top 10 DC Multiverse figures of 2021 list. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially if you're like me and waited this long to get this figure. I mean, literally, what is wrong with you? And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.